welcome. In my opinion, the Annihilation miniseries from 2006 is the beginning of the modern age of cosmic Marvel. This event, and the events that followed, brought together and unified many of the cosmic characters and elements in the cosmic Marvel landscape. To begin with, one has to acknowledge the roots of cosmic Marvel, most of which began in the flagship title, Fantastic Four. This series introduced the Skrulls, the Kree, the Watcher, Galactus and Silver Surfer, to name a few examples. Doctor Strange also established more abstract concepts, such as Eternity and the Living Tribunal. Captain Marvel, the first iteration of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Eternals, and the Adventures of Adam Warlock are also early examples of the cosmic Marvel landscape taking shape. Later on, the Dark Phoenix saga, Secret Wars, and all the Infinity miniseries of the 90s would also contribute to the overall picture. Certainly there are many other examples. However, all of these elements wouldn't be a coherent or unified whole until 2006. The Annihilation Event has its beginnings in the first solo Thanos series from 2003. Between issues 7 and 12 of that series, Thanos is imprisoned in the Kiln. This is an ancient prison that contains some of the galaxy's most dangerous criminals. It also exists on the very edge of the expanding universe, in an area known as the Crunch. While not officially a part of the Annihilation Event, these issues do introduce or establish elements that will come into play later, most notably the Kiln and the Crunch. These issues also reintroduce Star-Lord, a character that hadn't been seen in the Marvel Universe for roughly 20 years. Prior to the event itself, there are 5 miniseries and a one-shot prologue that set the stage for Annihilation. The first miniseries is Drax the Destroyer. The character is reintroduced, so to speak, and radically changed. He is also completely redesigned to resemble the character that is known today. All one needs to know is that Drax's entire purpose is to kill Thanos. This is followed by Annihilation Prologue. This one-shot is the very beginning of the Annihilation Event. As previously established, the Crunch is on the very edge of the expanding universe. It's here, where the universe and the negative zone meet, that Annihilus breaks through from his universe into the Marvel Universe. What follows is something that is appropriately known as the Annihilation Wave. Annihilus' entire army descends on the Kiln and destroys it entirely. Immediately afterwards, the Annihilation Wave proceeds to Xandar, where that civilization and its police force, the Nova Corps, are completely wiped out. This unexpected incursion from Annihilus sets the cosmic Marvel universe into disarray. The next miniseries is Nova. Richard Rider is the last surviving member of the Nova Corps. Due to this, he now possesses the World Mind, the source of the Nova Corps power. He is, essentially, as powerful as the entire Nova Corps combined. With the help of Quasar and Drax, Nova attempts to destroy Annihilus, but he fails. In the process, Quasar is destroyed and consumed by Annihilus. This is followed by Silver Surfer. Servants of Annihilus are attempting to capture the former heralds of Galactus. This is so Annihilus can consume their cosmic energy. These heralds join together to fight this threat and to save themselves. Thanos offers his services to Annihilus because of their shared interest in death. During this initial meeting, Annihilus' motivation for this invasion is learned. The Marvel Universe, as it expands, is expanding into the negative zone. This expansion takes away Annihilus' territory. As a consequence, he's breached into the Marvel Universe to reclaim the territory taken away by this expansion. Also, he likes to kill things. There's that too. Silver Surfer, having seen the senseless destruction caused by Annihilus, once again becomes the herald of Galactus. Galactus reveals that the Kiln also imprisoned 2 ancient, powerful beings, Tenebrous and Lady Aegis. These 2 beings, now freed, intend to finish their business with Galactus, who is responsible for their confinement. Of all the miniseries, this Silver Surfer miniseries is rather essential. The following 2 miniseries, Super Skrull and Ronin, are quite minor, as is the Drax and Nova miniseries, to be honest. Obviously, they establish the threat of the Annihilation Event and the characters that will fight back against it, but overall, it's not essential reading material. The strength of the Annihilation miniseries is it feels like a massive conflict, one that takes place over a lengthy period of time. Refugees flock from one location to another, trying to escape death. Battlefronts are lost. The Skrulls are almost entirely wiped out. Galactus is defeated and used to fuel the Annihilation Wave. Other cosmic heroes, such as Captain Marvel, Gamora, and Moondragon, join the fight alongside of Star-Lord, Nova, and Drax. Thanos continues to work for Annihilus while secretly plotting to stop his insane attempt at universal extinction. While there are a lot of characters and many different locations, it is a well-paced, evenly balanced story. The stakes feel quite real, and the conclusion is suitably cataclysmic. In the end, despite the wide-scale destruction and disarray this event caused, it did provide a unified perspective of the cosmic Marvel universe. All of the characters and civilizations that seemingly existed independent of one another come together to neutralize a common threat. There was a 2-issue coda to this miniseries called Annihilation, Heralds of Galactus. This tidies up a few loose ends pertaining to the Heralds, but, overall, it's not an essential portion to the Annihilation saga. At the end of Annihilation, Nova would be the only character to get their own ongoing series. This series will cross over with all of the forthcoming cosmic events. Unfortunately, Keith Giffen, the writer of the event, stepped aside following Annihilation. The construction that follows was done by the creative team of Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, both of whom deserve a lot of credit for refining and building the current status of the cosmic Marvel landscape. Annihilation Conquest was an event that followed a year later. It begins with a one-shot prologue, which is followed by 3 miniseries and a crossover with the ongoing Nova title. In the aftermath of the Annihilation Wave, the Kree, now led by Ronan the Accuser, decide to bolster their defenses. With the help of Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, they broker a deal with the Phalanx, a species of techno-organic beings that first appeared in the X-Men. These beings can improve the Kree's security grid with their superior software. Once access is gained to the security systems, the Phalanx infect the system with a virus and immediately take control of the Kree's defenses. This virus is also airborne and capable of infecting organic beings as well. In a matter of moments, the Kree population is infected and enthralled by this virus. The Phalanx then erect a barrier around all of Kree's space, cutting it off from the rest of the galaxy. This one-shot is followed by a 4-issue Quasar miniseries. Briefly, Quasar and Moondragon find and awaken a new Adam Warlock. In the 4-issue Star-Lord miniseries, Peter Quill and a hastily constructed early version of the Guardians of the Galaxy attempt to find a cure for the Phalanx virus. This event then crosses over with the ongoing Nova series. Between issues number 4 and number 7, Richard Rider battles an enthralled Gamora. He eventually loses this battle and becomes enthralled himself. However, he does manage to cure himself of this virus and then escape the barrier around Kree space. The 4-issue Wraith miniseries simply introduces a new character that is immune to the Phalanx virus. In the first issue of the Annihilation Conquest miniseries, it's revealed that the leader of the Phalanx is actually Ultron, the sentient artificial intelligence. Ultron's endgame is to be reborn in Adam Warlock's body. After all, Warlock was crafted to be the perfect human form. By doing so, Ultron will become the ultimate amalgamation of machine and human being. Nova, who escaped earlier, returns with Warlock of the Technarchy, and Ultron is, basically, defeated with a counter-virus. This miniseries also integrates other alien species in the cosmic Marvel universe. Rigelians, Badoon, Spartoi, and Galadorian Space Knights, without Rom of course, all take part of this event. They are mostly in the background, but present nonetheless. As an event, Conquest isn't as cohesive as the original, and its conclusion is less organic than Annihilation, but it successfully constructs a fuller picture concerning the scale of the cosmic Marvel landscape. At the end of Annihilation Conquest, Guardians of the Galaxy would get a new ongoing series. This series, along with the ongoing Nova series, would cross over and be integral parts to the forthcoming cosmic events. As a side note, this is the 3rd iteration of the Guardians team. However, in Marvel Universe chronology, it's actually the first version. The other Guardian teams were from the future. The next cosmic event has its roots in the Marvel crossover event, Secret Invasion. During that series, it was revealed that Skrulls had replaced many people with their own shape-changing agents. One of these people was Black Bolt, the leader of the Inhumans. Due to his treatment while in captivity, Black Bolt decides the Inhumans should be a tad more proactive in the future. This leads to the miniseries War of Kings in 2009. The Inhumans remove their entire civilization from Earth's moon and take over Hala, the Kree homeworld. Along the way, they also wipe out the Skrulls. The reason behind the Kree invasion is because the Inhumans were created by the Kree. Years ago, the Kree came to Earth and genetically modified some humans so they'd evolve into weapons. These modified, weaponized humans became the Inhumans. As such, Black Bolt thinks it's appropriate that the Inhumans take over and rule the civilization that created them. Due to the upheaval this Inhuman takeover causes, the Shi'ar Empire, led by Vulcan, decides to invade and take over as much Kree territory as they can. Naturally, this leads to a conflict between the Inhuman-controlled Kree and the Shi'ar. This conflict ends with a massive bomb powered by Black Bolt exploding in the space between Kree and Shi'ar territory. The explosion not only kills Black Bolt and Vulcan, but it creates a massive tear in time-space. This tear will subsequently be named the Fault. This event was immediately followed by Realm of Kings. The Realm of Kings event basically establishes the various challenges faced by the kingdoms in the Cosmic Marvel universe. It is a little like a superhero version of Game of Thrones, but, in deep space. During this time, a newly revived Quasar explores the Fault and discovers another universe. This universe, the Cancerverse, has alternate versions of many well-known superheroes. It's also ruled by beings known as the Many-Angled Ones. By the way, the Many-Angled Ones are, basically, Lovecraftian entities that exist in dimensions higher than our own. In the final 2 issues of the Guardians of the Galaxy series, Thanos is resurrected. He becomes integral to the next event, the Thanos Imperative. The story concerns an invasion from the Cancerverse. An army, led by Mar-Vell, attempts to breach the Marvel Universe and to claim it for the Many-Angled Ones. It's discovered that in the Cancerverse, there is no entity known as Death. As a consequence, no one dies. Being the appointed avatar of Death in the Marvel Universe, Thanos is necessary to stop this threat. He needs to bring Death back to the Cancerverse. This is accomplished, but in the process, Star-Lord and Nova are trapped and presumed dead within the Cancerverse. Both Nova and the Guardians of the Galaxy titles were put on hiatus at the beginning of Thanos Imperative. However, these titles would be rebooted shortly following the conclusion of the event. Star-Lord and Nova would also find their way out of the Cancerverse at a later point as well. Roughly, this brings us to the present day. Nowadays, the bulk of the events in the Cosmic Marvel universe occur within or directly tie into the ongoing Guardians of the Galaxy title. The 2 recent Ultimate series heavily delved into the more esoteric aspects of the Cosmic Marvel universe. These 2 series are highly suggested for anyone interested in understanding the foundation to the Marvel multiverse. They also serve to give one a finer perspective of the aftermath following Secret Wars. There have been some significant changes in recent times, but for the most part, these interconnected events, beginning with Annihilation, unified the cosmic landscape, giving one a distinct impression of the civilizations, cultures, and the conflicts that exist beyond Earth's solar system. That's it for today. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk at you later. Until next time.